Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala ali Sayyidina Muhammad wa barik wa sallim. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Welcome to Islamic story and moral story. Inshallah, in this class, we are going to learn one story. There is a one lesson also, and there is a barakat also. And this story came in the Hadith Sharif. So, this story is related to we should read before doing any work Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. So what happened? Once upon a time, one day, the Muslim shaitan and the disbeliever, the kafir, the mushrik shaitan, they both met in one place. So here in the Hadith Sharif, Huzur Rahmatul Alamin Sallallahu Ta'ala Alaihi Wasallam is giving one example. If you don't read the Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, what happens? If you read the Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, how much benefits you get? So one shaitan was appointed with one Muslim, and also one shaitan was appointed with mushrik, disbeliever and kafir. So how they both were? So the Muslim shaitan was very thin, and he does not have the great cloth, and also the oil was not in his hair. So this was the position of Muslim shaitan. So now the disbeliever shaitan, the mushrik shaitan, the kafir shaitan, how is he? He is very fat, and he is wearing a nice and good cloth, and also in his head oil also is there. Now these two shaitans, they meet in one place. So the Muslim shaitan who is very thin, and he does not have the oil in his head, he is seeing the disbeliever and kafir shaitan and asking, oh, you are very fat, and you are wearing nice clothes, and also the oil is on your head. What is the reason? So the disbeliever shaitan, the mushrik shaitan, the kafir shaitan says that I was appointed with one mushrik, with one kafir, with one disbeliever. Whenever he eats, whenever he drinks, he does not read Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. So I enter in his food. Whenever he drinks anything, so he does not mention, he does not read Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. So I enter in his drinking. Means while eating and drinking, he does not say Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. So I enter in his food. So that is the result that. So it looks like the disbeliever, the mushrik, that kafir is drinking and eating, but actually that disbeliever and that mushrik and that kafir is not eating, but I am eating. This one that mushrik and kafir shaitan is telling. And also whenever he wears any kind of cloth, so he does not mention Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala name. So I enter in his clothes also. So and also whenever he uses the oil in his head, so he does not mention, he does not read Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. So I enter in his oil. So therefore now I am looking very fat and wearing nice and good clothes, and also I have lot of hair in my head. Now the disbeliever, the mushrik, the kafir shaitan ask that thin and the Muslim shaitan who is very thin and he does not have oil in his head. Now see, what is your position? You are looking very thin, and you do not have the oil in your head. What is the reason? So now the Muslim shaitan says that, oh, I was appointed with one Muslim, with one Iman person who always mention Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala name. He always read Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. I start the name of Allah Ta'ala who most beneficent and most merciful. Always he, before doing the work, always he reads Bismillah Rahman Rahim. Also, it is in the Hadith Sharif that Man lam yabda bismillahi fahuwa abtau wa aqtau. Whoever is start any work without mentioning Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala name, so it is incomplete. So that Muslim person always he reads Bismillah Rahman Rahim. So especially before going to eat any food, he reads, he tells Bismillah Rahman Rahim. So I could not enter in his food. Therefore, I remain hungry. In the same way, whenever he drinks water or any drinking items, so he tells Bismillah Rahman Rahim. So that is the result that I could not enter in his drinking also. So therefore, I remain hungry. So I could not enter in his food and in his drinking. So that is the result that now I became very thin. In the same way, whenever he wears the any cloth, so he tells Bismillah Rahman Rahim. So I cannot enter in his cloth also. I cannot spoil his cloth. So in the same way, so whenever he uses oil, so he tells Bismillah Rahman Rahim. So I could not enter in his oil. So therefore, now see my hairs are very dry, so that there is no oil in my hair. This is the result. So in this Hadith Sharif, it is open that if anybody before any work, here in the Hadith Sharif some words are used like a food, cloth and oil. Whatever we are doing, whatever we are eating, so if we mention Bismillah Rahman Rahim, so this Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala name protects us and the barakat will come. So what we have learned from this story that and also it happens that we started some work and we forget. So what is the rules? So whenever we remember between that work, we can say Bismillah Rahman Rahim. So last we started some food, we started to drink something and it completed. In the ending, we remember that I did not say Bismillah Rahman Rahim. So at least we should remember and we should tell last. So how we should in dua also Bismillahi awwalahu wa akhirahu. So this was the fazilath of Bismillah Rahman Rahim. So inshallah we should try and we should remember whatever we are doing the work, before doing any work we should always say Bismillah Rahman Rahim. If we forget middle of that work, we should say Bismillah Rahman Rahim. Suppose if we forget in middle of the work also, so if we remember in the ending last time, we should say Bismillahi awwalahu wa akhirahu. Thank you very much.